Hello, welcome back. It's June here. On my blog yesterday, my blog is www.poppyfieldcardcrafts.com. I posted this card and it was to show how I created this background. I used Cosmic Shimmer PVA glue for this background, and I actually made 3 different colours about a year ago. I put them to one side for a later date, but I used some of them a few days ago. And I started with a sheet of A4 cardstock, and I used, on this one here, I used 3 different colours. There's a gold and a white twinkle and a reddish twinkle PVA glue. This is all I have left from the A4 cardstock because I've been doing some other things. It dries extremely hard. When you're die cutting, if you're die cutting, you need to have a good quality dye. I've used dyes from Creative Expressions and Tonic. I haven't tried Crafter's Companion yet, but Creative Expressions and Tonic are excellent and do cut through the PVA glue. You don't have to use 3 colours. I did on this one and another, and the last card I'm going to show you I just used 2. The PVA glue comes in this size container, and I'm sure you can get the same effect using the Tonic NuVO crystal drops or any of the NuVO range of those. And I'm just going to quickly show you how I did this, and I think it's self-explanatory when you look at it. This is a 6-inch square card. For this one, use 3 colours again. The Decadent Teal Twinkle really gives it a nice twinkly shine, and I've used black and a gold, and just cut a flag using a die for that. And this one I've only used the 2 colours, pink and black, and I made an oval shaped card. I cut a smaller panel out using this, put that on there. So it's something different, very colourful, it can be subtle as well. Put those to one side. I would always use a sheet of A4 card. I'm not going to for the demonstration purposes, and leave it overnight to dry. And if it warps a little bit, I don't think mine did, but if it does warp a little bit, then just put a heavy book or a few heavy books on top of that and leave it again. Or you could run it through your die cutting machine, just sandwich it between the 2 plates, the base plate and the top plate, and that will flatten your cardstock. So there's no, strict way to use this. This is the Cosmic Black, and I just did that. Olympic Gold. We're getting low on this one, and this is when I have a problem, when it is getting low for squeezing, but that's the Olympic Gold. Just wipe that. This is the Decadent Teal Twinkle. There you are. I've brought some of the NuVO drops in. I love these. This one is red berry. We have bright gold. And this one is oyster grey. Oops. And these will dry the same way as the Cosmic Shimmer PVA glue. If you're doing this and you put it to one side to dry, do put it in a safe place, and don't maybe put it on a shelf and then forget you put it there, and go and put something on top. There you have squiggles and swirls. Right, I'll put those on one side. And what I have to show you now is how to make a box for your card when you don't have a die. Excuse me. Christina Griffiths, she is card making magic, and she has designed a die for a box measuring 5x7 to house your 5x7 cards in. Excuse me. So you need to have one of the large die cutting machines. I use the Spellbinders Platinum for mine. If you didn't have one of the large machines, what you could do is place Christina's die on your cardstock and just draw the outline and then cut it that way. So I do make a lot of 5x7 cards. I make a lot of all sorts of sizes, A5, 8-inch square and what have you. So my husband designed a template for an A5 card, which is, as we know, A4 halved. And when it's halved, it measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, or if you metric, 21 centimeters by 14.5. And this is the box. And I know it has a Christmas die on there, but there is a Christmas card inside. So as you see, we do have some dimension on there. But this is the card box, and I'm going to show you, I'll show you the template, and then you can make note of that, and you'll always have, or be able to make a box if you're doing an A5 card that has some dimension, as this one does. A5, and we have some flowers that do give a lot of dimension on there, so you do need a box for that, which I have here. And this is 320, 325 GSM, I think, so it's a sturdy box. If you wanted to post it, it shouldn't get damaged at all. It is a good weight. And on my blog I will have the measurements again, so you can, don't worry about making note of it now, the sizes. Okay then, you need 2 pieces of A4 cardstock. And excuse me, on the first piece, what you need to do is score 1 inch all around. Now I have, as you can tell, already cut the little pieces out just for the time factor for recording. So you need to score 1 inch all around your cardstock, and then on one end, that's the 1 inch, and then go to 2 inches and make your score line there. You're only going to do that on one of the pieces. Just put that to one side. This now measures, the red line depicts the score lines. I've put tape on as well, again just to save time. I would normally use Cosmic Shimmer Dry's clear glue, but you're just going to get instant gluing when you're using the tape. So we have all 4 sides scored at 1 inch, and then one end only 2 inches. 1 inch, 2 inches. Excuse me. What you need to do next is cut this little piece out on all 4 corners, and you'll see that because the line will show down there and go along that way. So you need to remove that and the one from this bottom, that one and that one, and that will leave you cardstock like that. So just cut that to the 2 inch line. If you're using double-sided tape, put the tape on as you can see there. If you're using wet glue, obviously just leave that for the moment. This is the card that, this piece of card is the one that's going to tuck in like that, which is why it is bigger than this piece. So it's the same principle. You have a piece of A4 cardstock, and you're going to score 1 inch all around on this second piece. What you need to do then is, we'll do it in inches first. This is now 10.5 inches. I've put 10 3/8 actually, or 26.5 centimeters. That's that size. And then we're still, well, not still, this is 8 inches from side to side, or 20 centimeters. Excuse me, I've got a funny voice again, funny throat. So you have all your score lines, and you're going to, this might be easier to show you that way, going to cut the first inch where you've scored the first inch on there. You're going to remove that entirely, and that brings you down to this second one. And what you need to do then is to cut the little tabs, remove those. On the bottom, cut the tabs off there as well. And what you're left with are these two, obviously. And if we remove that tape, put that up to the line, the score mark. I do that this way, like It's difficult trying to make sure I've got this on the screen. So that end goes up to there. Burnish that in, and then remove this tape off the other side. Like that. That will sit into that score line there. And just press it like that. So on the bottom one, we don't have any flaps to tuck in or remove. But I do have my tape on the bottom, so we'll remove that. Just tuck that over. Make sure your corners or your edges are aligned. If there's a little bit of overhang, you can always snip that off. Burnish that. And then with the top one, you can either tuck this piece in, that flap, bring those two flaps over, add some double-sided tape along the edge there, bring that down, and you have your card box. But what I like to do is using a small round hole punch, just go to the middle, and I'm eyeballing that, and just put your punch halfway. Use two hands for this. So again, you can either tuck that in like that, and you could put some tape, or if you're putting ribbon around it, if you just handing it to the recipient. But if you were posting it, obviously you need tape on there, or that can go over like that. You've got double-sided tape on there, and it'll fasten like that, and that would be easier for the person just to lift the flap up. So this will take this card one box. It is advisable, in my opinion, to use a heavyweight cardstock. You don't want anything too flimsy. If you're just hand delivering it, then that's not a problem, but if it is to go in the post, I would go with the heavier weight. So that's it for today. Thank you for spending some time with me, and until the next time, bye.